Shit, it's a good show. It's a great show. It's a shit show. Pickle Rick show. Not a Jerry show. Scary Terry show. Lick my balls show. Szechuan sauce show. It's the fucking Rick and Morty fan show.
It is. It's the fucking Rick and Morty fan show. Guys, welcome into the Rick and Morty fan show. I am super excited to be with you guys again. It felt like forever. Like we've done 2 live reaction videos, and now I feel like I have to be on every Sunday. When the season ends, it's going to be weird for me because honestly, it felt like forever. I don't think I was on Fandom Empire live this past Thursday either because we switched it to Fandom Empire now, which has Michael Bish on it. If you guys have seen him, Michael Bish and Sean are doing kind of like a show there now, which is awesome. Fantastic host. I think I'm on a tilt here. Yeah, so that's what they're doing now on Thursdays. It's fairly the same as Fandom Empire Live, but it's those 2 guys working really well together. So yeah, we'll give that a go. We got so many different personalities here at Fandom Empire now, but we're our own little, we're almost our own little thing here. We're the Rick and Morty crowd, whereas the rest is more the comic booky horror fan. So if you guys are into horror movies and stuff like that, check that out. There's a show right after this one. Without further ado, though, let's get to Rick and Morty stuff. A couple of things, guys. I sent out the prizes for Corey and Misty. And I should be sending out the prizes tomorrow for, was it Kenny and Celeste? I'm only one guy, so I wanted to see how much it was going to cost first. One of the packages was going way far away, but it didn't actually cost that much. It was actually it was fairly good shipping price. So I wanted to see how that went first. I am going to ship off the other 2 prizes tomorrow or the next day. So stay in tune, and I will give out the tracking numbers. I gave the tracking numbers to everybody. They could figure out how they were getting there, all that stuff. Anyways, prizes going out, guys. We're really excited about that whole prize thing. Because we didn't do a reaction video on Sunday night because I had to work a rare overnight shift where I could have done it at the group home, but I probably would get fired. So we just had to forego the show at that point. Next Sunday, we should be getting another reaction video. So we'll do season 5, episode 4 then, and we'll do season 5, episode 3 now. Guys, really controversial episode. I'm going to check who's in the chat. We're going to see who's in here hanging around. And while I do that, guys, if you want to tell me what your favorite part of this episode was, come in the chat. All right, let's do a roll call here. We'll see who's in the chat. Oh, I erased the chat, so that didn't help. We got Alex Roof in here. We got Matt Conway, Mistie Stone. We got Solo in here. Alex Roof is in here. Adrian Stanville's in here. Oh, what does it say here? Have you seen those YouTube videos with someone 3D prints baby Rick? I haven't seen that. I'm going to have to look that up. I'll look that up right after that. There we go. This is the tweet right here. Oh, no, I'm watching my own video now. Yeah, so that's our roll call for today. That's who's in on the episode, guys. Let me know what your favorite part from this episode was. And maybe later we'll get to the chat. We'll talk about a little bit of that stuff. So we get this episode. Has an A and a B plot, back to the regular Rick and Morty sort of thing, an A and a B plot. The A plot being, I think, Morty and Planetina, and the Rick and Summer being kind of the B plot that's mixed in there. Very interesting because there were 2 very different stories with the same theme. So the theme is obviously love and sex and teenage. They really pushed the issue, having lots of sex stuff. I don't know, lots of stuff about sex in this episode, which was really kind of for some people, it was definitely threw them off. For some people, it definitely took them out of their element. There's a large portion of people out there who, well, I don't want to say large. It's that vocal, that vocal few that seems like a lot of people, but really it's the people who whine the loudest. They were upset about, Morty being a 14-year-old and, having sort of like a love angle that kind of seems like is a little bit too old for his character. And then obviously Rick just basically goes off and has an orgy with his granddaughter. I mean, they don't mix at all. So, there's none of that in there, but they're definitely doing stuff together that people don't normally do with their grandpa. I don't know. No judging if that's what you guys. It sounds like a Johnny episode. Yeah, it was kind of a Johnny episode. I should ask Johnny what he thinks about this episode. He might have enjoyed it quite a bit. Always slagging Johnny, guys. So there was an opinion out there that this episode pushed the line too much, pushed the boundaries too much, and I don't think so. I always think this is a cartoon. It takes place in not the real world. The things that happen on this show are not reflective of real life at all. They do, like, there's a plot in this that is very similar to real life and things that have happened to, all of us. But there's also, craziness. There's also things that you got to take into account. Like, what would a human think if they've seen a bunch of versions of themselves and aliens and almost blown up the world a few times? And all these things would affect people in such a way that we can't compare Rick and Morty to real life. So if we got Summer, who's being way over sexualized in this whole season, she's saying weird things, doing weird things. She's definitely experimenting with her sexuality in this season. Then, it's through the lens of Rick and Morty, which is the lens of pure craziness and crazy extreme. I don't even know what word to put on it, but anyways, things I like from this episode. Obviously we saw the cold open before, and we saw the shirts, Rick and Morty Pussy Pounders shirt. I need one of those. When I'm going to hunt down one of those shirts, that, like, the shirt itself was friggin' hilarious. I love that. Made me laugh my ass off just seeing the shirt. I love how, the shirt is melting and Rick's like, what the fuck? And blah, blah, blah. And they have the opening the door handle gag that's in a lot of movies. And I mean, it happens in real life. Anybody who has kids knows your kids say, unlock the door. And they freaking do this over and over again while they're waiting for you to unlock the door. And you're like, it doesn't work until you stop doing that. It doesn't matter how many times you tell them, they still do it. So that was like, it was pretty good. I liked the opening gag. I really liked the Diesel Weasel character. I thought that was hilarious. Had a great voice, and really was legit like how 80s, 90s cartoons were. Like he introduced himself and had a dumb line, and he's kind of along the lines of those Ninja Turtles, Toxic Avengers, Battletoads. There was a troll show that was like that. There's so many shows where they just had weird mutant characters that were animals all beefed up, Thundercats, that sort of thing. Loved the voice. And yeah, Diesel Weasel, when he escaped, it was funny. Little time, like just a little bit of the episode, but I loved how authentic it was. It really seemed like a character that would have been involved in Captain Planet. Obviously, Planetina is a ripoff of Captain Planet, like a straight direct ripoff. Not in like a kind of borrowing elements like a fucking Xerox, except with girl parts. So we get Planetina, and I think it's really interesting throughout the episode. If you go back and watch it, as I have 6-7 times already now, and when you go back and you see their relationship start at this part, and when when Morty goes to the wildfire, You notice that the only reason that she is attracted to Morty is right after he does things for the planet. So he comes out to pick up the can and throw it in the thing, and he's like, oh, not a big deal, and she's like, oh, you recycled, and she makes a big deal out of it. And she announces to the news that he saved a baby rabbit from the forest and came that far, and that's why she fell in love with him. But this is not the real Morty, like Morty is, I feel like Morty's a good person, and so he would do that, but I don't feel like Morty is an extreme planet-saving kid. He does the things that other 14-year-olds do, and 14-year-olds can be the most wasteful people on the planet. I know, I was one before too, and I relate to this a lot because I was a vegan for 5 years. I've taken other measures in my life to try to be more active in, recycling, saving the planet, that sort of stuff. The time traveling machine looks like a Walmart scanner. It does look like a Walmart scanner. That's it. I have worked at Walmart too. So I thought that was interesting that I feel like the reason she liked him was all because she thought that he had the same ideals as her. But I don't think that's not really a theme in Morty's life. It's just kind of a background thing. It's like, I'm sure he would love to save the planet as many times as he can, but it's not his number one priority. His number one priority was getting some Planetina for himself, I think. So I thought that was interesting. If you watch it back, you might not agree with my opinion, but it seems like when she thought that he would jive with her opinions and her ideas, and that's what started their relationship on kind of a false... It was built on a lie. It was a relationship built on a lie. Anyways, we got Rick and Summer going off to the planets. He's got this crazy lineup of stuff. I guess Summer just had her heart broken, which, I think she has her heart broken many times. She's definitely an emotional teen. She is 17, though. It's important to know that she's 17. People they push the boundaries with Morty being 14, and they say like this, this is not fair to characterize Morty this way, and over sexualize Summer. Well, Summer, while she's 17, and I don't want to get into any really weird political stuff, but when 17-year-old girls are, they're probably experimenting by then, a lot of them. So it's not really out of character or weird, in my opinion, but a lot of people kind of have a problem with that. They see Summer as more of a 15-year-old or more of Morty's equivalent. But it's definitely fucking weird that she's going off on this crazy... the Tommy B. I got to talk about this merch later too, guys. We got some merch going on. That's hilarious. I really love that they're going off on this thing. I loved the little lines about Jerry's approval. Jerry hasn't given his approval for them to go off and do this. And, Summer basically puts him in his place and says something about I forget what the line is. Does everyone remember what the line is? Your dick can kiss my small or my bigger tits or something stupid like that. Someone's got to know the line and exactly what it is, but it's ridiculous. She's really getting crazy with these lines. She's running around saying lick tits and that licks and this is whatever. And, later on this episode, we get some pretty weird stuff from her. She's definitely getting really crazy in that way. I like the whole Jerry's approval thing was funny. I haven't given my approval yet. And she just basically says fuck off, Dad. And, Jerry's got no power because he's a wimp, and basically just pretends that he's, well, fine, you can do it, but only because I said so. And then we get what I thought was kind of it was the funniest part for me. The part I laughed the most at might not be the funniest gag or the one that lasts the longest, but oh my God, when they're on the ship and they're heading off to the first planet and they're just I'm going to eat so much ass and then just the fact that they were saying like they're gonna like, oh, I'm gonna eat ass and I'm gonna eat another ass and blah blah blah, and the fact that they pixeled out the mouth when they're like, I thought that was hilarious that they didn't. I mean, they do have the censored version, and this is the uncensored version, but both versions had the pixelated version of that, but the actual words were fine. So I don't know if that was put in there. A lot of people are saying Adult Swim blocked it, but I think it's more likely that Rick and Morty just put that in there, because I don't see why they would block that, but not the language. But I don't know. I haven't confirmed any of that yet, but oh my God, like it made me laugh my ass off. And then, Rick said like, oh, I see you have an unlicked, and keep going on. And yeah, they're both pretty funny. I thought I laughed my ass off at that part. I thought it was funny. And that was the start of their whole journey, which was basically just a big, crazy, sexualized orgy of fun. Woo! They had fun. They met. Rick met a character who has the juiciest elbow boobs in the whole dimension, I guess. That was funny. The character just saying hello is totally a Rick and Morty thing. Like, let's just give her one line pretty much, and we'll just keep going with that. Like, the character doesn't need to be explained or interesting or have a background. Just do this, like, whatever. And she totally looked like a ghetto. Oh, iTunes doesn't blur anything except the elbow boobs. That's interesting. Huh. Interesting. That's a super chat in from Matt Conway. Thanks for the info. So that means that it was Adult Swim that probably blurred it out, because I think when Rick and Morty submits their cartoon, they don't do the beeping out. I think that Adult Swim would put out what they want to be censored. So thanks, Mr. Matt Conway, for that, and for your $2.99 super chat, guys. I didn't even plug super chats today, guys. If you want to get your comment out there, you got something you just want me to say online, you got something you want me to talk about, you got something you want me to say. If you want to make sure you get it in, throw a super chat in there. Helps the show, and it helps the show with the giveaways and stuff. Like, we just did a big giveaway show, and depending on how many super chats we get, there's when we'll do another one. Like, if we get tons of super chats in, we'll do another giveaway when the season ends. If we, I don't want to plug it too much, but that's how it works, guys. When the show makes money, I can give out shit. Thank you again, Matt Conway, for that super chat. Yeah. So, if you guys want to chat in, let us know if you eat ass. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, no, it was crazy that they had the episode have so much of that in it. I laughed. It was just a shock thing. It was one of those, Howard Stern, Marilyn Manson type things where you're just you're entertained, because it's so shocking that they would have that out there, that they would throw that out there on TV. Adult Swim's obviously pretty racy and can get pretty crazy in the cartoon world, but yeah, laugh my ass off just based on shock. Just watching them imitate that. I thought it was interesting though, as well. Morty and Planetina kind of got at each other as well, and it had a little montage with bees and butterflies and flowers and that sort of stuff. And what does that symbolize? It was it was almost like Anchorman. I don't know if you guys are big fans of Anchorman. Love the movie Anchorman. When Ron Burgundy and Veronica are, going off to the bed, it cuts to a rainbows and unicorns and, whatever. And, kind of a regular movie trope to do that. And, yeah, so what does that mean? That means Morty and Planetina hooked up? That's another thing that's just it's going to get those people out there who said but Morty's 14 and it gets addressed to, how old is she? The concept of being old doesn't count. She only lives when they bring her to life, and, she's really an entity, not really I assume she's immortal. Anyways, what do we got here? Oh, Matt Conway in with another. Oh, yes, I was going to say that. Matt Conway in with another super chat. Thanks again, Matt Conway. One of the biggest supporters of this show. Really appreciate not only this, but you're adding in on my Facebook group, which has been rapidly growing a lot thanks to Matt Conway, Jody, Lance, Misty, throwing in a lot of stuff in there lately. It says the hello alien pukes on the baby. Anyone else? Yeah, and that was weird. Yeah, I thought that was weird, and that's when Rick was like, "Oh, I gotta have that one." I thought that was kind of it was weird. It once again reinforced the fact that she had like a baby carriage and that she, is wearing like a weird. Her outfit's kind of weird and ghetto-ish. It made her look like she was trashy, I guess. I don't know. I don't like to say bad things about humans, but we all kind of suck. Everybody knows that about when we get in this episode, we're basically talking about how fucking terrible humans are. I love that when Morty appeared with Planetina when they summoned her at the concert or at the fan expo type thing. I like the idea that when they sent her back and they needed to fill time, they talked about $50 Funkos, which is great. It's always funny when you get, if you've been to a convention before, you have to line up to get these exclusive toys. You got to pay more than the regular ones, and they only go to the people who show up soon. Like it's this crazy elitist thing that, they do. I remember I used to play a lot of like tactical board games, and I had to wait in line forever to get this one gaming piece. And then once I got it, I just sold it because it ended up going online for like $300. And it's like, I really wanted it for myself, but $300 and I bought it for $50, like wasn't really a hard decision for me. So I like, as a collector myself of lots of things, obviously I got a nice collection behind me. I'm not a big fan of those things that only the elite people can get. I think things should be for everyone, even though, collecting is about rarity. That's not here. That's not part of this. That's a conversation for another day. The second planet they went to when Summer had like a smoke up her nose and like upside down skate on her head. It really looked like it was animated by that. I don't know if you guys have seen that Bangaroo guy who kind of does crazy, like neon colored art of Rick and Morty, Simpsons, these things like that. It looked like they were using the colors like straight out of that. The color palette was straight out of those crazy neon colors, which I thought was really cool. But yeah, Summer just smoking out of her nose, and it was really weird. Like there's another thing. Like they just pushed it. Every scene they pushed the envelope on this one. Like it was crazy. I thought that, as much as people were upset, I understand why they're upset, but I didn't. Like it didn't bother me, but I understand. Anyway, one sec here. Just got a notification my computer was running low. Don't want to do that. We don't want to lose the show. To charge my battery on my phone or to charge the battery on my computer, that is the question. What else? Oh, so yeah, another thing I loved. I really liked the. Oh, if I had a portal gun, I'd steal collectibles. And yeah, exactly. It's crazy. I would hoard them. Yeah, you'd have the. What were they called? Was it Small Soldiers lollipop spinner thing, or the Ecto Kool-Aid? I love the Punch My Lunch board game. That was hilarious. The little pig guy saying, "Don't punch my lunch," and then Jerry picks up this little thing that has the like the punching bag that squirts. I thought it was funny that they fit that in there. It was really stupid kind of amalgamation of a bunch of games that they put in there. A funny little gag in the background. And then this is where we hit the real feelsy stuff in this episode, guys. Like they really. They got us in the feels. I think, you like on the chat, guys, if you guys got emotional during this episode, you don't have to say you cried or anything like that, but if you got emotional during this episode, put it in the chat. I want to know what the ratio is like, because I saw like a lot of people were surprised by the emotion they felt in this episode, and Rick and Morty does know how to do that. Community did that really well as well. 2 episodes a season or something like that, but there would always be a couple episodes a season where they did a really good job of getting you emotionally, and it's something that Dan Harmon knows how to do. The writer for this one was Rob Schraub, so obviously he had something to do with it. Big. I guess they're really good friends with Rob. Rob's also good friends with Abed, and all these guys who work on the show, good friends with each other. Well, actually, I guess Rob and Abed have a little thing going on between the two of them, but they're they hang out together. I know. I bet Solo could probably tell us more about this. He knows more about that sort of stuff. But anyways, they know how to get us in the feels. They knew how to get us, and I think it's because it's something that we've all felt before. When Morty gets emotional about asking if Planetina, basically saying Planetina should just move in with us, like she doesn't have a place to stay, and as a teenager, I think a lot of us got to that point where they said, like, whoa, I'm going to live with my girlfriend, or I'm going to live with my boyfriend when you're 15. And you're like, whether it's, people who did have, to have them move into their house or move into that person's house, or if it was just spending a ridiculous amount of time with someone at that house and leaving stuff at your boyfriend or girlfriend's house. Something that happened to a lot of us before we had real relationships, or before we evolved into, having, real, not that puppy love type stuff. And so I think it hit a lot of us in that point where we could relate to that. And, Morty's saying, like, when he freaks out and says, you never support me, and I this and I that, and whatever, freaks out, and I love her, and blah, blah, blah. And, that emotional sort of speech that came out of him was something that I think a lot of us have done. A lot of us have said, like, your mom or your dad or your friends or whoever would point out, like, hey, like, I think this girl's just with you for this, or I think, you're taking this relationship too seriously, and you snap on them and fuck, you don't know what you're fucking talking about. Like that sort of, like it happened. It happened to a lot of us. So, real talk. I think that's why it got us. I think that's why it got so many people. Let's see if we got anyone commenting on this. Not unrelated, but Matt says, I've smoked out my nose in a dare. So, yeah, very nice. Adrian Stanfield says, do you like Bob's Burgers? Actually, I haven't really given Bob's Burgers a chance. My brother loves Bob's Burgers, but I have not done that. Matt Conway says, pow, right in the feels. Solo says, meh, I saw them breaking up coming. I mean, it makes sense. It was like I said earlier, it was a relationship that was doomed from the start, really. But because of what it was built on, but also because she's not a human. Possibly, maybe that would be. I hate when he slams the door. Yeah, he slams the door a bunch of times. Love that. Pretty funny. But yeah, no, they had a way of doing it in such a real way. And then, I'll skip to the end. I'm going to talk a little bit more about the rest of the episode, but we skip to the end where, Morty dumps her, based on the fact that she was, going a little overboard and could not live with the fact that she was running around killing people just for, that sort of thing, just for, making a small aggression towards the earth. And, we all remember how our first relationship ended, and usually it ended childishly and dumb, and we ended up crying about it. So, I can relate to that too. Obviously I did not go out with Captain Planet, or, I did not break up with my first girlfriend because she murdered 300 people, but, stuff like that happens. And I think that's why they did such a great job. I think that's why they do such a great job with Morty when, like, being 14. Morty reminds me of me when I was 14 all the time. Like, things that he does, remind me of being a teenage boy. And, all of us who were teenage boys remember doing, stupid things like that. And, things that he does. And I think that I think that's why they do it so well. I don't know what it is that Justin Roiland and Dan Harmon capture that part of life so well, but they do. And that's how they got us. That's how they got us in the feels, guys. But back to some of the funny stuff in the episode. I like that. No, I talked about Punch My Lunch all the time. I like the gag as well. They're playing Punch My Lunch, and Planetina ran out of food tokens, and then Morty says, "Oh, I'll just loan you some." And then Beth and it's funny because you play a game against a couple, and we all know that couple, and I know that couple really well. I don't think they'll be watching this because I don't think my good buddy Steve watches this. But if you play a board game with my friend Steve and his wife, then they will team up and probably share stuff. And I will probably be like, well, that's fucking stupid. And the game will probably end with me throwing the board across the room or complaining or whining. Because, as we all know, been revealed by producer Sean before, I whine when I don't win board games. I'm sorry, it just happens. I'm not competitive about everything. Board games, I don't know why. I have this super ego, and when I lose board games, I bitch about it. I know I mentioned already that I was a vegan, but I loved that this episode went in the really crazy radical world-saving mode where, if people used coal, then they deserve to die. If people, did this, then they deserve to die. She slashed everyone's tires and made them walk. I love that part of this episode too, because that is a lot of me too. Like that, I went vegan, and I became part of the vegan lifestyle on Facebook. I was in groups and stuff like that. And man, do you ever meet people who are really crazy vegans and really crazy, every time someone takes a bite of a burger, they're murdering the earth and they deserve to die. And man, like you get some really crazy extreme people. Of course, you're on Facebook, and that's where the fucking extreme people live. I'm starting to like Twitter more. I don't know what you guys think about platforms, but I like Twitter more now. Twitter seems to be more people like commenting on fun stuff. I mean, I'm more part of the Rick and Morty crowd than anything there, but like people on Facebook are fucked, and people on Twitter, I think, are a little bit more having fun right now. I think it used to be the reverse, but anyways, I was part of that crowd before with the vegans, and man, did I ever meet some crazy people. Oh, thanks for spoiling it, Sean. Producer Sean, fooling around with this. Am I boring you, Producer Sean? Is that what's happening here? You're just going to play around with shit on my show? This is worse than the time Johnny walked in front of the camera like 5 times. Fucking asshole. The other thing I want to talk about, I actually missed this, but I love how the third planet is called Furcus, which is obviously fuck us, which I thought was pretty hilarious. I don't know why. When that kicked in, I laughed. But the other major thing that I loved, Alison Brie was fantastic in this episode. I loved her voice. Like the Planetina voice was great, and she went really over top with the cutesy type character that she plays in Community. But it was like over the top. It was different. And I like when voice actors do that. When you have an actor come in, actually like Joel McHale from Community as well. He played Hemorrhage in the Mad Max type one. You don't really know that that's his voice unless you're a big fan of Community like Solo is, or unless you're, you knew already, but he did a different voice for the character. And Alison Brie's voice is, she went a little crazier with it, a little amped up. And it was awesome. I thought it was great. She did a great job of the voice. It was over the top, and it was also 80s cartoony. So I really love that. I like to give a shout out to the actors. I mean, Alison Brie doesn't give a shit what I say about her, but she did a fantastic job. It was really cool. I liked it. I dug it. She did the character was really believable, and it was funny because she was kind of in a relationship the same way her Community character would be, where, you know, it started off right and whatever, and then she got really fanatical and crazy, which is, you know, it's kind of bang on to her character on Community, where she, you know, takes things a little far and is a little bit anal about things and a little bit crazy, a little bit, you know, what's the meme with the crazy wide-eyed girl, you know, girlfriend, kind of like that. So I really enjoyed that whole thing and thought that she did a great job. The episode, I actually loved it a lot. I thought it was great. It made me laugh. I think the emotional mixed with the jokes and the funniness, I thought was a perfect mix. And I think it's the best episode of the season so far. I think a lot of people are going to think I'm crazy, and a lot of people think that the season's falling off already. But I think, once again, I think that's the vocal minority speaking. I think most people who are Rick and Morty fans are happy this season so far. I haven't talked to anyone specifically who doesn't like this episode, but I have talked to, you know, or I have seen a lot of people on Facebook, of course. On Twitter, they fucking love the episode. On Facebook, you know, there's people invading the Rick and Morty groups who don't even seem to like Rick and Morty, so I don't know why they're there. You know, it happens everywhere. I'm part of a lot of wrestling groups. There's always people who come in and talk about how wrestling isn't as good as it used to be 30 years ago, and they talk about it all the time. It's like, well, why the fuck are you on Facebook now? We're not gonna fucking talk about Hulk Hogan right now. Like, why join the group then? And same thing goes with Rick and Morty groups. People are like, you know, it hasn't been good since season 2. It's like, well, that was fucking 6 years ago. Like, fuck off, go somewhere else. Like, if you don't like it, if you haven't liked it for 6 years, don't talk about it anymore. That's what you see you later. Bye. Bye-bye. We got a couple more people in here. North America Hip Hop's in here. My rap sponsor, you know, takes care of my rap career. I really appreciate that. NR Originals is in here. NR Originals need to hook up with you guys so we can do a crossover show sometime. NR Originals does a Rick and Morty review. I mean, you check it out for yourself. So yeah, we got to get that going. I was actually thinking before, if NR is still here, I had this like kind of brainstorm the other day. I think us and the guys from the Rick and Morty podcast, which I know you follow as well, we should get together and do Rick and Morty D&D or something like that and put it on here. I think that would be really great. But anyways, I'll message you guys later about that. I've been so fucking busy, so fucking busy, which is why I missed the Sunday show. And man, I had to go and get some coffees just to make it up, you know, just to make it through this day, because I was working overnights for a few nights and it really fucked me up. Like, honestly, to you guys who work nighttime, I know Justin McEwen, big fan of the show, big friend of the show, is working overnights right now. You are a fucking hero, guy, man. Like, I can't do it no more. I can't do it no more. And I'm not sure how old Justin is, but I think he's around the same age group as me, and he's doing the night shift. So Justin, if you see this, shout out to you. You are the man. Overthinking cat get. Yeah, that's the haters. Yeah. I don't know. I don't get hate. I don't get haters for anything. I mean, I guess I'm a hater sometimes. I know Sean will probably fucking pop on here and be like, you hate this. And, you know, I'll go back on you hate that. We can do that on the next show though. But yeah, I don't get the Rick and Morty haters. They're always talking about how it was in season 2. And you're like, well, if you haven't liked it since season 2, then fuck off. I hate Boba Fett. Oh my God. Do I ever hate Boba Fett? I'm sorry if this loses some of you guys, because everyone fucking loves Boba Fett, but what a piece of shit. No, I'm just kidding. No, actually, I'm not just kidding. He's a piece of shit. Solo says, I miss Ryan Ridley. Actually, I miss Ryan Ridley quite a bit as well. I really love the Ryan Ridley voices, and you could tell some of his influence. I know me and Solo are both big fans of the Grandma's Virginity podcast. I have recommended it so many times. I can't recommend it enough, guys. Go check out the Grandma's Virginity podcast with Justin Roiland, Ryan Ridley, and Jackie Buscarino, who is a voice on a lot of cartoons. A very noticeable voice when you hear her voice. So funny, so off the wall, so crazy. They do so many things on that show that you should not be able to do on media, and it's just hilarious. Actually, like, you know, one time Jackie was trying to talk about how she would stop home invaders from coming into her home, and basically Justin, like, while she was talking seriously about how she would stop home invaders coming in her home, like, Justin was talking about how they would have their way with her, and they had the MASH theme song in there somehow. For some reason, they were singing the MASH theme song at that point. Yeah, good on you, North America Hip Hop guys. If you're in the video, please like the video. And you know what? If you guys really want to support, and you're not like, you know, you can't do the super chat thing, that's totally cool. If you can't, you know, not everybody's got money to throw out there on super chats, and that's why you're on YouTube, because it's fucking free. But if you want to support me, you can also like my videos, comment on my videos, share my videos, you know, tell your friends about my videos. You know, you can tell them about Kieron Presents, which is my Patreon show, which I do. You only have to subscribe to our Patreon. You can do a whole lot of things. There's me in a pirate suit talking about Leprechaun. Like, I don't know why you wouldn't want to see that. It's fucking amazing. All you have to do, guys, is sign up for Patreon, and you can go anywhere from $3 all the way up to, I think we have like a $20-something package. It's like but it's like a really lots of crazy perks and great stuff. A lot of the horror stuff in there. If you're a big horror fan, then I would definitely check out the Patreon. You can see it down. You can see it down there, and you know, you can check it out. But if you get the $3 package, which is our lowest one, you get my extra show, and I talk about whatever the fuck I want. So if you want to see me talk about other stuff, then oh, there you go. And we got it in the chat now, so you can check it out there. But that's our Patreon stuff. Gotta plug the money stuff, guys, because that's how we keep this channel going. Anyways, really like this episode, so I'm really excited that I'll be back on Sunday, guys. Come check me out Sunday right after the episode. We're gonna discuss the episode right after. We'll get the immediate impact, and I do fool around a little bit more with the chat on that one, which, you know, I did a little bit today, but I get to talk to the chat more. You get to be more involved, and you get to hang out with a lot of people, because we have a lot of viewers on those shows. So come check that out right after the episode drops. That's going to be it for me today. If you guys want, anybody who's not in any of my socials, they're all down here. I'm using Twitter a lot these days. I'm not using Instagram a ton these days, but go and give me a follow there, because the more followers I have there, the more I'll do on Instagram. Check out the Patreon. Check out Kieron Presents. Check me out on Fandom Empire Live right after this. The best way that you can find out when I'm on Fandom Empire Live, or when Sean and Johnny and Tommy are on Fandom Empire Live, is to subscribe to Fandom Empire. You know, and you'll know when it's there. You'll see that little logo there. We got new logos going all the time. And what was I going to say? I had one more thing I wanted to say. What else do I want to plug? What the fuck else do I plug? There was something else I wanted to get in there. Oh, Fandom Empire has a merch store now. So we haven't got our Rick and Morty shirts up yet, but we're going to have Rick and Morty fan show shirts. We have already a bunch of cool Fandom Empire shirts there. There is a shirt that I am going to buy and wear on the air very soon. It's Tommy's shirt. It says, I guess I can just go fuck myself, and has a Michael Myers silhouette on it. So yeah, check out the merch store, guys. I don't know if oh, there you go. Sean's on it today. We got the merch store up in the comments. Hopefully we'll have a Rick and Morty fan show shirt up there. Obviously I'll let you guys know, but anyways, I've wasted enough of your time on this last 5 minutes or so just plugging shit. We do have a couple extra minutes, so let's go see in the chat what's happened. Anything interesting? Whoop. All right. So NR Originals came and joined. Well, damn. Matt Conway says we need more hardcore Rick and Morty fans. We need a more hardcore Rick and Morty fan producer, Sean. Go get into Rick and Morty. Yeah, I know. I try to convince Sean all the time, but Sean, you know, I can blame Sean for not watching Rick and Morty, but he'll tell me to watch something, and same thing. I'll throw it on the bottom of my list, and then when I throw something I want, I put it on the top, so I never get to the bottom. And that, like honestly, I've been told so many. Earlier, someone said watch Bob's Burgers. I'm like, yes, I do want to watch Bob's Burgers, but instead I'll probably watch Trailer Park Boys for a fourth time because that's just that's something old people do. I find I'm getting into, like, I'm listening to the same music all the time now too. I used to be really open to new music, and you know, someone told me about something, I'd check out new music. And now I just fucking listen to the same old, as my daughter would say, depressing rock music, which is what I do. It's easier to just watch the same shit over again. Lance in with the super chat. Thank you very much, Lance. A good friend of the show. $3 super chat says episode 3 was awesome. Yes, I agree. I knew you'd like it, Lance, because I knew you'd get the dark humor. I knew you wouldn't be offended by anything because you're pretty much on the same wavelength as me. The show could go fucking wild and I'd still be a fan. Mistie Stone in with a $10 super chat that says nothing. But Misty, I really appreciate your super chat. I appreciate your support. And you've been up throwing a lot of stuff on the thing too. And I got I said it earlier. Well, I've already, already, but I've sent your prize out. Big winner, Mistie Stone, winner of the second art competition, is what got the her draw on the trail. Melissa Todd in here says, hey, Kieron. Hey, Melissa, what's up? I'm assuming that you're going to be in on the next show, so I will chat with you there. Matt Conway says, love Trailer Park Boys. I love Trailer Park Boys. It's the lowest low of humor. Like, it's just like Ricky fucking shooting squirrels and talking about Rakins and all this dumb stuff is just, it's like the dumbest jokes, but it makes me laugh my ass off. It's great. Solo says, same. I've listened to 90s gangster rap and Odd Future forever. Yeah, no, that's just me. Lance says I can't be offended. Adrian Stanville says, do you have a time traveling machine replica? I do not have a time traveling machine replica. I need to catch up on my Rick and Morty merch. I'm actually falling way behind on Funko Pops. It's all because I look at Lance's collection and I fucking cry and say, well, I want that shit. No, I got lots of Rick and Morty stuff, but I definitely need to catch up. I've been spending my money elsewhere lately. I've actually been practicing. I bought a saxophone, so I thought it's too bad. I bought a saxophone, and we've already passed my review of the episode that has Baker Street, the song in it. So it would have been great if I could play that when we reviewed that episode and I played it. But you know what? When I get to play Baker Street, I'll come on here and I'll play it, and I'll probably ruin the fucking microphone and it'll sound shitty, or I'll post a video. Doesn't matter. Either way, guys, come and join me on Sunday right after the episode. I really love doing those. It's just hanging out. Like this is kind of a review. I set up things. I do segments. I do giveaways. I do fun stuff. But Sundays are fun because I just come and hang out with you guys. It's like you guys come and hang out with me. Like I'm good friends with a lot of people here. I talk to Lance almost every day. I talk to a lot of people on the messenger group. If anyone wants to be added to the messenger group, find me on Facebook. Tell me, hey, I want to be in the Rick and Morty Top Fans group, and you can come chat with me about Rick and Morty every day. But come and hang out on Sunday. on my immediate reaction video. I'll post it everywhere on my socials. For that, guys, I will see you guys later. Thank you for joining the show. Thank you for the super chats. And peace out, guys.